I had a wonderful visit in California with my friend. I didn't film most of it because I just wanted to focus on our visit, but we saw some amazing things. We walked under massive redwood trees that towered up into the sky, visited the Trees of Mystery, where I worked on my fear of heights,
Oh, jeez.
and we went to the St. George Reef Light where we saw some kind of whales spouting. It was a really wonderful visit, and I was sorry to leave. First stop on this video is going to be Cape Blanco State Park, and I'm just driving through the park campground looking for A41, which is our campsite for the night. Home sweet home. I think I'm cutting through to the coastal trail. I could have done it behind my campsite, but I didn't have a map. So I walked down, checked the map, and it shows the coastal trail to the lighthouse from the campground going all along this bluff. And I found it. Here's the trail. So when I walk back, I can tie right back into my own campsite. I think this is a 1-mile loop. Heading out of the gloomy trees into what looks like a little salal forest, like a salal hedge. Ooh, and we're getting views of the ocean. There's the lighthouse way down there. And there's the beautiful Pacific Ocean. We're going to get more views of the Pacific. The horizon is a little closer today. I'll show you when we get out there. There's a cloud bank rolling in. I think we're going to get rain tomorrow. We're looking south, right into the sun, just like usual. I'm not going to go too close to the edge. I don't know what that looks like. But you can see this coastline on this point is gorgeous with the rocks. We're going through this like grassland salal area. I think this is going to come out near the day use area, and then we have like the little lighthouse walk from there. Cape Blanco is the furthest west point of land in Oregon. It was purchased in 1867 by the U.S. government to build the lighthouse. There's some beautiful scenery to walk along by. Looking north here. The whole road here is broken off and the hillside slumped down. Erosion at work. Hey, we're at the top of the little knob. That's a cute lighthouse. There's a little picnic area here. And it says to stay on the mowed area. You know, it's funny, at the top of all of these little hills and viewpoints have been molehills. So they're getting their little hills on hills, and they'll never know what a beautiful view they've had. Prime real estate. There she is. The Cape Blanco Lighthouse stands 59 feet tall, but is 245 feet above the sea. It is Oregon's oldest standing lighthouse. That was a fun walk, good leg stretcher. From my campsite all the way to the lighthouse and around it and back was 2.25 miles with 170 feet of elevation gain throughout the entire hike. Beautiful views. You could definitely spend a lot more time than I did, but I didn't want to lose the light and I wanted to come back. I've got a couple chores in the van to take care of. I need to dump my gray water and then I am going to start some dinner. Making my chicken curry again with Trader Joe's yellow curry sauce. And this much will last me for 2 meals. So, well, it's lunch break and I'm heading out because my checkout is in the middle of the day. I need to find somewhere else to work for the rest of the day. I feel we just scratched the surface of this beautiful state park. I read that it has 6 miles of trails, a historic ranch house, and I really just visited the lighthouse only. The other interesting thing is the trail that I jumped on to start with behind my campsite is actually part of the Oregon Coastal Trail, which goes all the way up or down the entire Oregon coast. So this would be a nice stop if you were doing that trail as well, or if you're staying here, jump on it and do part of that trail. The story behind Face Rock comes to us from the Coquille tribe. Princess Iwana went for a swim and was grabbed by an evil sea spirit named Sitka. He wanted her to look at him so he could ensnare her, but she refused, keeping her eyes to the sky, where she remains with her head tilted up. Apparently she had brought with her her dog, her cat, and some kittens, which are some of the rocks surrounding her. I got to spend the rest of the day working with this beautiful face outside my window. I am at Umpqua Lighthouse State Park. I got here just before sunset, which is right about now, I think. And it's also the beginning of a storm blowing in. It hasn't started raining yet, and tomorrow we're probably going to see the lighthouse in the rain. But tonight I was just going to walk the dogs really quick before it starts, and didn't realize there was a lake here. So there's a 1 mile loop trail around Lake Marie, and it's a little dark already, so I don't think we're going to do the whole loop, but we're going to walk down here and check it out. There's a little bit of an opening. It's a pretty little lake and it's a quiet campground. There we go. How nice. That evening, on my way to the bathroom, I found this little friend. It's a stormy, blustery, wet day, but we have a slight reprieve from the rain. You can see the lighthouse behind me, and I want to show you around. It's really pretty here. It's really windy too. I might have to take the sound out, but look at, there's some gorgeous dunes. Now this is Coast Guard property, and the waves are just rolling out there. So that's the Pacific Ocean, and then this other bit of water you see right there, that is the Umpqua River. This lighthouse, built in 1894, is 65 feet tall and stands on a 100-foot bluff. It replaces one that was originally placed closer to the Umpqua River. That one was built in 1857 and had started to tilt and eventually fell over due to flooding. All right, after work, we drove through the wind and the sideways rain for a couple hours and found ourselves at Cape Lookout State Park. And it was a really nice night's sleep. I was pretty exhausted. And this morning, we have a moment of quiet. I don't think it's supposed to last. I think we're supposed to get rain again. Hopefully not the wind. So we're just taking our morning walk. The dogs are pretty happy because the campground was full of bunny rabbits. But over here on this closed loop, I haven't seen any. And we are just hopefully heading for the beach north of this campground. It said dogs are allowed off leash. We've got some fun things planned for today, and I hope you'll stick around to see them. There's the Pacific Ocean. Some little sunrise colors going on. Looks like an arch rock out there. His favorite beach activity besides running. Rolling. She's making sand angels. That's a good one. Luna's art. Oh, Frodo walked in it. Once they're leashed up again, it's really hard to tell which one likes to roll in the sand. Just since I came out, the storm is moving in. There's those arch rocks. And it's pretty dark over there now. Last day on the road, and breakfast, and probably lunch as well, is avocado toast with eggs. After breakfast, the blue skies were back, so I decided to take another trip to the beach while I could. The wind is blowing the rain here, so we're getting wind blown and the rain is pretty icy, but we're gonna walk up this beach anyway because it could be worse. Look at that. Then we went back to the van to head to our first destination of the day. It's an interesting smell in the air outside. We are here at the Tillamook Creamery, and we're gonna go check out how cheese and some of the best ice cream in the United States is made. That's their milk receiving area, and get to know that the milk usually arrives within an hour of leaving the farm. That's pretty cool. The tours here are self-guided, and to the left of the stairs there's an interesting history of the Tillamook Cheese Factory. It would take a bit of time to go through all this, so I'll leave it for you to read when you come here yourself. I'm going to start out with the tour and end up with shopping and tasting. Cheese hanging from the ceiling. So this goes from the milk arrives all around to the cheese returns. So the milk comes into these big shiny tanks. And those are cooking vats, actually. Tank on the left, cooking vats on the right. They add a culture and then an enzyme to make the milk gel. And then they turn the blades in the vat to cut the curds. You're looking at a Cheddar Master, and it can hold 15,000 pounds of curds. Looks like the curds are compressed into blocks. These are 40-pound blocks of cheese. Once they're packaged, they go into a cooler for 24 hours. And this side is the packaging. Look at all those little blocks of cheese. Heading for a kitchen near you. Wow, that's so much cheese. The blue octopus.
It's not the cheese gets the reject, it's the packaging. She is the person looking at the mirror. She hasn't.
I think we're kind of heading in the opposite order here. Because that's cheese with no packaging. Over there. They cut 1 million pounds of cheese a week. And any scraps left over get turned into shredded cheese. There's another angle. I am going to get a taste of cheese. Oh, they're little pre-packaged cheeses. How cute. I shouldn't be eating cheese. Maybe I will anyway. I'm going to get holiday sugar cookies. That sounds good to me. All right, here goes. Well, we are going to be hiking the Cape Trail, Cape Lookout Trail. It is 2.4 miles each way, so I'm not sure we're going to do the whole thing. We're starting it kind of late as like a spur-of-the-moment decision. The dogs needed to walk somewhere after all of my visits that didn't include them. I almost ate shit. Into Tillamook and all of that. They needed some exercise. So we're up here, and hopefully there'll be some kind of a lookout. We're way, way up. The ocean's way down there. This is so nice to hike along with the sound of the ocean crashing below. Just this constant thunder. It's a great temperature, I think 45. This forest is full of like just gnarly old trees, and look at that one. It has a whole like forest floor growing from its crotch right here. There's salal and huckleberry and ferns and all sorts of stuff in there. Well, the views are getting better. Look at this big rock sticking way out there. Pretty cool. Well, the rain caught us, so I think we might just turn around. It looks like it's gonna rain for a bit. So we're not getting very far on this walk, but it was not planned. Look at that. The sun is so pretty coming through. Wow, this is gorgeous. Maybe I'll go just a little further. Look at that. There's the edge of the storm. We're right under it. There's a marker here because an Army Air Force plane crashed here in 1943, 500 feet west of here. So just somewhere right along the water or this cape then. Yeah, I can see the rain coming down right there. I think we're gonna turn around and make it a short hike and just enjoy some relaxation in the van. Well, it wasn't just rain. I'm glad I turned around. I got a quarter mile to go. It's hailing on us. So far, just tiny. Let's hope it stays that way. Well, that'll cool everything down. This trail wasn't white on the way in. The dogs aren't thrilled either now. When I got back to the campground, the hail had stopped, but it was still windy, so I wanted to see the waves crashing into the shore. Then the dogs and I tucked into the van for some relaxing and some reading. Walking to the bathroom that night, I made another little amphibious friend. Well, we're heading back home. It's been a wonderful trip. Thank you for coming along. I hope you enjoyed seeing some of the things I saw. And if you're in the area or even not in the area, I hope you're inspired to come enjoy the Oregon coast too. I feel like I definitely barely scratched the surface. This is an amazing coast. I am going to take a long way home because if I take the direct route, there's winter storm warnings, and I have avoided winter this whole time pretty much. Just a little bit of hail. So hopefully I get home safely. If you're seeing this video, I did. Thanks for watching. And as it turned out, those winter storms were unavoidable, but I did make it home safely.